So it started Saturday. I learned an uncomfortable truth, something non-military orientated, of course, but it got stuck in my mind, and I tried to figure out what was the best way to go about fixing it. So by Saturday evening, I had come to a conclusion and decided on a course of action, which I did, which involved contacting a number of individuals. And so Sunday was pretty okay because I didn't get any contact back. Of course, this was all done by email. And Monday morning, I get about 5 or 6 emails back, and they were negative. And they weren't negative as such. They were just um, unwilling to go with my particular course of action. I couldn't understand why they couldn't see things from my perspective, and they couldn't understand why I couldn't see things from their perspective. And there, of course, the lines were being drawn. And of course, the exchanges, they weren't heated, they were quite professional, they were quite balanced. From a logic point of view, I agree with their side, but I had to impress on them that the issues that I was bringing up, I believe, are very valid. So I was very upset with the fact that they couldn't see what I was doing, and as a consequence of that, by the end of the evening, Monday evening, my brain was frazzled. Frazzled. I just couldn't think of anything. Um, I tramped down an awful lot of grass around my field. Did so much walking, trying to figure out what can I do, what can I do, what can I do. And of course, I couldn't stop walking even when I was in bed. I just could not sleep. I could not close my eyes. I just kept going over and over the different scenarios, the causes, the consequences, and I must have come up with a scatter of different ways of doing it, this way, that way, and I came up with the same amount of reasons why I shouldn't do them. And as a consequence of that, I didn't get a night's sleep that night. At one point in the night, I had night terror. My eyes kept flickering. I just could not focus. And then my stomach started to rumble. I was physically nauseated. And I just knew that I was not going to be able to be fit for the next day's work. But I did manage to clock in the next morning. And I really tried my best, but it started to overtake me, and I knew that I was in trouble, so I realized that I had to contact somebody. I tried contacting the Samaritans. I couldn't get through because it is funny because, like, if you were thinking clearly, you could scroll through everything, you can do the search on Chrome, you can click on the link and off you go. But for some strange reason, my hand-eye coordination was all over the place. I couldn't think. I felt like there was something stopping me from everything I was trying to do. So eventually I got through to my local GP office, and I was talking to the receptionist, and I was put on hold, and then I got a call back, and as I was explaining to them that I was having a panic attack, it suddenly came over me, and the, the receptionist wanted to get a doctor or somebody to on the phone, but at the same time I was screaming at her, "Don't leave me, don't leave me, I have to do this." And I wept solidly for a good 2.5 minutes. I was uncontrollably wept. I have. It's been a very long time since I wept that hard. Afterwards, I finally started to get my breath back. The thoughts were still there. The issues had never changed. But I was so grateful that I was able to get in contact with a medical professional at the time. And now they have a record of who I am and what had happened to me. I was then able to get in contact with my place of work. They were very supportive, and they gave me plenty of time to figure out how to contact social counselling service, and as a result of that, I am now right now I'm in during the day I was in a bit of a depression, a really low depression, and I realized that it was because I'd worked myself up to such a state that it swings. There's a high part and then there's a really low part. I kind of knew I was going to hit the low part, and I did. And the good thing about that low part was I was able to think more rationally and calmly, and I was able to slow my thoughts down and make decisions. Well, I could not make the decisions for me, but my peers advised me to take this particular route, and that's the route I'm taking now. Right now, the next few hours, I'm still not out of it. Tonight now, I'll be lucky to get any sleep. Tomorrow, hopefully, I'll be able to take small steps, take things very slowly, and over the next couple of days, it'll probably take me a week to get over those small steps and slowly start getting slightly bigger steps. And it'll take a few weeks, then a few months, and it will take a couple of years for me to come to terms with what I went through. And at this stage, I am grateful now that I'm embarking on counselling, and it's going to help me figure out what is triggering this, and from that point on, I can see hope in that. Once I get over this, I'll be a different person. Panic day +1, 24 hours later. What can I say? After I gave my podcast yesterday, I went inside, spent the rest of the evening. I couldn't listen to any news. I couldn't listen to any music. I didn't feel like reading. Didn't feel like conversating, getting involved with anything. My mood was low. I got a good night's sleep though. I was able to get through it all right. And followed by the next morning, I checked my my Fitbit, and just out of interest, I wanted to see did my body physically show any signs of dying during my panic attack, and my heart rate pretty much stayed the same, and my breathing rate was pretty much the same. So it's good to know that the next time I fall apart like that, I won't actually, die or anything like that. The worst thing that would probably happen would be a conk out, just fall unconscious. Sounds scary, but it's reassuring to know that I'm not going to die. What else can I say? Throughout the day, I was functional. I was able to work my day as normal. I did not want to get involved with the particular issue concerned. I still deliberately avoiding anything to do with it at all. Even talking about it, I don't want to even go there. My emotions, um, I'm going through anger, sadness, happiness. Um, I'm going through. It's a roller coaster, but at least they're not as pronounced as they were yesterday. As for my thoughts as well, like I'm just trying to focus on the little things. Overall, I'm feeling very sensitive and defenseless and vulnerable. Um, at times, I felt like, there's, any, I felt like, I was so vulnerable that like, I could die. But again, I realized that, like, you know, something like that's not going to happen. Um, but it that sensitivity has kind of opened my eyes to just being aware of the situation and how it's panned out, and it's good to have that sensitivity because sensitivity, it's about being more sensitive, and by being more sensitive, it probably makes me uh, more aware of everything around me even more. And I suppose also I'm thinking about the smaller things in life, the joys of the smaller things in life, and I can find joy in super small things. Simple things like eating a bowl of Weetabix actually tastes better. So what can I say? I don't think I'll do any podcasts next week or for the next couple of weeks. I might even call it this for the summer, and maybe I'll see you again in September. Take care.